Morning everyone, Boker Tov. Continuing Siman Resh Nun Bet. So we mentioned last time another case in the Shulchan Aruch where one starts something before Shabbat and it continues into Shabbat. And the case that we spoke about was a case of putting wool in a vat of color in order for it to absorb that color. So you started before Shabbat, it continues over Shabbat, and this vat is usually under the fire, etc. So we said that when you do this, it can't be over the fire on Shabbat because Shema Yechate, you might come and stoke the fire on Shabbat, and also it needs to be closed. And because if it's open, you might come to megis. Megis is to stir the pot, which also causes an enhancement of bishul. So just to add to that point, is that because this is applicable to the concept of megis is applicable to our dafina on Shabbat. We have the dafina; it's on the hot plate or it's in the crock pot, and what happens is that okay, now I want to serve it. Or if I want to have some on Friday night, I want to have some earlier than the meal. So one is not allowed to stir that pot, even if it's off the fire, provided it's still hot, provided it's still yad soledet bo. You can't stir that pot to get the nice juices from the bottom to the top, etc. That's called megis. That still enhances the cooking. Even though it's fully cooked, the dafina and the chamin is something that's called, it gets better, keeps on getting better with time. Forgetting the Hebrew terminology right now, mitztamek veyafelo, keeps on getting better with time. And therefore, if you want to do that, because you want the juices on the bottom to go on top, what you need to do is, when you take your dafina out, you pour that into a serving pot, because now that serving pot is not the one that was on the fire, but it's a serving pot. That's called a klisheni. Now that klisheni, you can do whatever you want. You can mix it and do whatever you like in that klisheni. So here too as well, in this situation of the this wool sitting in this vat of ink, we can't stir it on Shabbat, even if it's off the fire, provided it's still very hot. But if it would be in a second kli, then it would be allowed. The next case of the Shulchan Aruch is the Shulchan Aruch says as follows: Umutar lifros metzudot chaya ve'ofot ve'dagim ve'em nitzodim Shabbat. The person is allowed to put out traps before Shabbat for animals, for birds, and for fish, and they, let's say, get trapped over Shabbat. That's allowed, provided you set up the traps before Shabbat. It's allowed. So an applicable case would be a mouse trap a person has at home, right? So you have issues with mice, or he has raccoons in his backyard, or whatever it is, and he sets up a trap before Shabbat. Then it's allowed to get trapped on Shabbat, because trapping tzad is one of the 39 melachot that was not allowed to do on Shabbat itself, but one can do with his kli if he sets it up beforehand. The Mefarshim do say that if it's like public trapping, like people walk in the street and see this trap to catch fish. Oh, whose is that? Oh, it's this guy Reuven's. It's Shabbat today. Oh, he set up before Shabbat. If it's public and it looks like kind of like a business type of thing, then that's not ideal to be done. If it's in your own private house, if it's your own backyard, again, it's a kli that's doing a thing for you. You started it before Shabbat, then that is allowed. Again, if it's in public and if it's a business type of thing, it would have a marit ayin attached to it, so it wouldn't be good. But otherwise, one is allowed to do such trappings set up before Shabbat, and it traps on Shabbat. Minchat tonight at 7:10. Have a good day, everyone, and Shavua Tov.